Greetings, fellow Vita fans. This is James with PSVita at 2 a.m. and once again, I'm coming at you with another exciting video. Okay, this is a topic I've been wanting to talk about for quite some time now. However, we've had so much Vita news these past few weeks that I just never got a chance to get around to it. I have a little extra free time to do this video finally.
Yeah, right. You're just lazy.
Be quiet, disembodied voice, or I'll stab you with a Q-tip. Now on to the subject at hand, and I guess the title of this video pretty much says it all. Are PlayStation Vita carts running out? To some of you guys, I'm sure you've probably hearing some rumors as of late that this is true. This might be news to some, but yeah, it looks like this could potentially be a thing, and it kind of makes sense at the same time too. I mean, Sony did discontinue the Vita carts for North America and Europe. I'm still salty about that, Sony. I'm still salty. However, I gotta say, I was always under the impression that we were still going to be able to have open pre-orders on certain games and going to have enough supply to last us at least up until March. However, that doesn't seem to be the case, and all of this started from a certain tweet that Doug from Limited Run Games posted back in September, which I will show you right now. So you can tell this is in regards to the Salt and Sanctuary copies that they did not too long ago. A number of us, including myself, all assumed that it was going to be open pre-order because Salt and Sanctuary, for those who don't know, was a highly anticipated game for the Vita. In fact, I literally knew some people who had no interest in limited run games or their offerings, yet they were planning to purchase this game. That's how sought after this was. So when the time came for it to go up, and when they only had like roughly 1,800 copies to go around, excluding the collector's edition, a lot of us were shocked. That was an extremely small print run for a game that high in demand. And of course, someone got a hold of them asking, yeah, limit of 2 per customer on a run of less than 2,000 doesn't give us much of a chance. Also, I really hope that future Vita offerings are pre-order instead of limited. You know, considering that the manufacturing facility will be closing soon and all. And this was their response to that. Vita offerings can't be pre-orders. We're very constrained on the amount of cartridges we have left to work with, and they have to be specifically rationed between all of our remaining titles. End quote. So what this is telling me is that possibly Senran Kagura Bon Appetit might have been the last open pre-orders that they're ever able to do. And if that's true, then we can also kind of consider that however many orders they put in for Vita cartridges, that's already set in stone and that they can't order any more from here on out. Meaning that, you know, let's just pretend they have like, I don't know, let's take a rough guess here, 65,000, 70,000 Vita carts, and they have 30 plus games still coming down in the pipeline for us. That means they have to split all of those 30 releases amongst those 70,000 carts. Again, that's just a ballpark figure. I don't have any confirmation that it's that amount, just guessing here. And as you can rightfully assume, that means that any future releases from them, and heck, not just them, it could be from Strictly Limited, Red Art Games, all of them might be extremely low print runs. In fact, if I recall correctly, Another World was limited to only 1,500 copies. That was a very small print run. Granted, that game wasn't in super high demand, but still, it was a game that people did want. And it's kind of funny because as far as I'm aware, Breach and Clear is still Limited Run Games' most rarest title. At least overall anyway. Someone in the comment section can correct me if I'm wrong about this, but I believe that's still their most sought after. Because of course it was their first release, so that's kind of rightfully so. However, if you look at the numbers here, it's only 1,500 copies, and that's how much Another World got. Again, we're excluding the collector's editions. So that could potentially mean that going forward now with the Vita, at least as far as physical releases go, we could have a bunch of Breach and Clears on our hands for the next foreseeable future. Meaning that even the most basic of game might be super sought after and thus hard to acquire. Heck, some of these might even drop below 1,500. We might only get 1,200 copies. Heck, might even be only 1,000, maybe even less depending on the demand. So it could mean that the future, at least for physical media for our Vita, especially through these limited run companies, might be very hard to acquire in the future. Salt and Sanctuary might not be the only game that we have a hard time getting a hold of. Now it does beg the question also is that what about games like Deathmark? That's getting just a standard retail release. Granted, we don't have a ton of these standard retail releases still coming, but are they going to be super limited as well? We don't have official numbers, of course, and I doubt they're going to be as limited as limited run games are, but I'm still predicting a pretty small print run, or at least lower than usual. So I would highly emphasize, guys, that if you're into physical media with the Vita and you see something out there that you want, probably better to buy it sooner rather than later, because a lot of these last releases for the Vita could be very collectible in the future and skyrocket up in price. Now before I end this video, please keep in mind that this is only regarding the North American and European Vita carts, not Asian or Japan. They're still safe, at least for the time being. I'm pretty sure it won't be much longer until I'm making the same video regarding them as well. But for now, just North America and Europe. So I just wanted to make this video just to make you all aware of what's going on for those who maybe haven't heard this news yet. Does this kind of news scare you, or are you not maybe into physical media to begin with, or would you have no trouble just going to digital if that were to be the case? Let me know. And as always, fellow Vita fans, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. It really means a lot to me. Love you all, and I'll see you next time.